Alright, Season 3's here. Excited. Pretty keen actually. Now, full transparency, as you can clearly tell, I am a paid player, so I paid for the Premium Plus. And I gotta honestly say that so far it seems to be good, halfway decent value for money. Got myself some pretty sick threads, gone into a bit of the tattooing already. A little bit limited so far, but hopefully it's something that they build on in the future. But yeah, just so I give you a quick rundown on sort of what we're looking at. That way you can possibly make your own mind up if it's worth doing, worth getting for yourself. Righto, so starting off, we'll move on to the map. Now, I am at the infamous Grom Island. Now, the UI's had a few improvements, and it's actually quite crisp and quite sharp to look at. You have a look through here, you see it's quite busy. There's quite a few players on. We have our famous mega ramps made a comeback. It's actually halfway decent sized map too, if I'm being completely honest. It's not a bad sort of reward for paying, if you will. I don't remember what the old tutorial album was like, to be honest. I blitzed straight through it when I first played this, so I just wanted to get to Samban and get into it. So this is all pretty much new to me, to be fair, barring the mega ramp and the end, which is down here. But yeah, we'll touch on that a little bit more in a bit. But yeah, so far, to be honest, quite impressed. Now, as you can see clearly, we got some new threads already. We knew that it was coming for Season 3. No need to go into all of that. Quick flick through the pass here. What do we got? Alright, so a few items worth of note. You got your suit jacket. Quite a fan of that board there. I'll be definitely snapping that one up. This is only for a $1 or one tick, I suppose we'll call it. So that's not too bad. Some of the art, I'm not going to lie, some of the art is actually pretty good. Like, I am quite a fan of that old sort of Americana style. Like that sort of sticker, that board art. These shorts, pretty tight, mate. Got yourself a funny little mushroom tattoo. You'll sort of see as you go through, and I won't be the only one that's noticed this, there's actually quite like a one-eyed and a mushroom theme to all of this. They're really leaning into that, sort of giving it a bit of a cheeky poke in the ribs, while still trying to remain as child-friendly as possible. So I can respect that. Fine line to tread. That's pretty funky. I might snap those up a bit later. I'm going to have to because I want the suit. So, but yeah, I mean, there are some really good items in here. Actually, to be completely fair, that sort of retro style, they've, to be fair, kind of smacked it out the park. At the old Adidas as well. One thing you'll probably notice here is because just before the 70s, I've just done the video on it, can't remember, but I think it was the 60s is when the Vans shop opened up, the first factory for them. So there's quite a Vans heavy catalogue in this one, and honestly, mate, the old school Vans stuff's pretty dope. So I'm not hating on that at all. Seen that, had to get it straight away. Had to get that. So with me 4,000 whatevers I got, that was the first thing I got into. That shirt grabbed me eye, and same with those trucks as well. I was quite a fan of that. Yeah, so bit of a UFO theme as well for this. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to tell us something, eh? All that craziness going on out in the world, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. But yeah, old school pair of Vans there, mate. Love those. I'll be coming for those, that's for sure. Old school Vans gear as well, so I've only just recently learned just how instrumental more institutional Vans was to skateboarding. It was sort of there right from the very beginning, so big respect, and good to see it. But yeah, fair play to them. They smacked this one out the park, to be honest. That's your major unlockable at the end there. Funky little crash test dummy. Don't know if anyone else remembers the cartoon for crash test dummies, but yeah, that sort of took me back a little bit to the nostalgia. That was pretty cool. What do we got here? Okay, so the new shop. Now, as you can see, it's got a whole new UI overhaul. A little introductory pack there for yous. We've got the skater essentials, the board essentials, the tattoo parlor. Adidas is on special today, like sort of on the spotlight, I think is what they call it. Yeah, pretty cool, to be fair. Like, not a huge fan of the beanies in this game. Those shorts, those are pretty sick, actually, to be fair. I just noticed those shoes, dope. Love the shoes. Shamefully I already got this one, but I love the mask, so we grabbed that one. That's pretty funky too, actually, to be fair. I mean, if you're hard up on your realism, you're not going to like that, but you know, I tend not to take these sort of things too seriously, so that's a bit of fun, to be honest. Yeah, some of the art, you know, pretty crisp, to be fair. I quite like that, quite like that. Yeah, it's not bad. Got me free ticks as well. So yeah, you'll notice a few differences. You know, we got a few emotes up for sale. We got some items, you know, some quick drop items for sale as well, which is pretty sick. You know, I love that Jersey Barrier. I'll be coming back for him. That Rainbow Rail from the Season 2 in Pervotech Parks, that's pretty sick as well. I'll be coming back for a bit of that. And some bouncy items as well. Nothing new in the product boxes yet. You can see I've gone through a good chunk of, you know, the builder boxes. Sort of thought there might have been something at the end of that, but there wasn't really. But sort of the main feature here is the skater essentials, to be fair. Yeah, we got heaps of items up for grabs. You know, like some of them, and all of them, to be fair, as far as the microtransactions go, they're not unreasonably priced. You know, that's obviously subjective. You know, if I really want something, I'll grab it. I've already grabbed a couple of bits, like I already had the half cabs, already had the glasses. So you'll notice a few things, yeah, that's worth mentioning actually. You'll notice a few things that you've already got, but you know, you won't be able to obviously rebuy those, but there are heaps of new items in here, mate. So, you know, you got your creature flannel if you missed out on that first time round. Quite like that chocolate flannel. That's pretty sick. Once again, quite a bit for Vans. That makes sense. Seems to be the season 4 this season. A Dime, never heard of Dime, to tell you the truth. Some cool Thrasher gear. You know, it's not too bad. You know, I quite like that one. I might have to sneak that one out. Creature shirt, I was always umming and ahhing about, so I might sneak that one up a bit later as well. $700 for a puffer jacket though. Like I'm not convinced that's a good buy, but you know, it's all subjective, mate. At the end of the day, you know, I snapped that up today as well. You get your full set of camo if you want it. You know, the jeans, had to pick those up. You know, those jeans actually look pretty crisp, mate, to be fair. Like I think they've done a little tickle up with the art. They were threatening it, and by the looks of it, it's actually come up pretty good. Like they've done a halfway decent job. Good selection of shoes. You know, you got to steeze out with your kicks. So we got a few of those. Once again, the beanies, I'm not too fussed on those. You know, to be honest, like maybe I'll make a character that looks a bit like Jimbo from The Simpsons at one stage, but I'm not really too fussed. Saw another fishing hat, had to grab that one too. Been up for a fish in ages, to tell you the truth. Some of the glasses, we got some new options for glasses. You know, like the not really too fussed on these very aerodynamic numbers here, but things like that, you know, cool for character building if that's what you're after. Those are pretty rad, to be honest. You know, those are pretty sick. I wear ones, well, smaller than that, but similar in real life, so maybe I will. Now you look at these and you'll go, oh wicked, I got me white socks finally. Haven't got me black ones, but I got me white ones. But it's not, it's the Thrasher ones, unfortunately, so still no white, plain white and black socks to speak of. Charging $1 million for a pair of overalls, but I mean, if you want them, you'll pay for it, won't you, to be fair? It's kind of how they get you. But yeah, overall though, that shop, yeah, we've got some board essentials here too, quick run through on that. Yeah, overall the shop, those the new layout's pretty sick, man. I like this, you know, instead of waiting for things to come around, and you know, it sort of feels a little less predatory this way. I know the word's been thrown around a bit at the moment in regards to this game, but you know, to be fair, you do sort of think, oh no, is it going to come back? You know, like, oh, I really like that, but I can't be bothered spending money, or I don't have money this week, or whatever your situation is. Well, this is sort of like a pretty halfway decent middle ground, if I'm being honest. You know, so like I really wanted like that, you know, the Igor board. You know, I'm a big fan of anything creature. Still no blind or anything like that, but we won't promise that. You know, I'll just keep my fingers and toes crossed for that one. I did go ahead and buy this because, full disclosure, I did win one of those boards from the Show Us Your Fit contest, and as soon as I saw this in there, I thought, well, I got to have that. You know, in game. You know, I thought it was pretty sick, and not gonna lie, that tickled the old dopamine receptors a little bit. So, yeah, pretty chuffed with that. Yeah, but some really cool designs in here, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure how much of this is all stuff from before. Some of it I recognise, some of it I don't. That's part of the fun though, really, isn't it? A lot of slime balls wheels too. Might have to pick me up a set of those in real life. Yeah, a few different trucks, but lacking on the trucks, but that's alright. Now the tattoos is a big feature that people are after. In all honesty, like as cool as they are sort of lacking in options at the moment. There's a few in the past as well, but the way it works, what I'll do is I'll jump quickly into the character editor here. Where was he? There he is. And you got this new tab up here, Tattoo Studios. So we'll go into that, and you'll see you've got whatever tattoos you've unlocked or purchased. You've got the options up here, hitting the shoulder buttons. You can go through either your legs or your arms. It's your only options at the moment. And then once you've selected the one that you want, you can adjust where it sits on the X and Y axes. You can rotate it a bit if you like, and you can change the scale, make it bigger or smaller. As far as I'm concerned with tattoos, you know, my personal philosophy's always been, you know, loud and proud, the bigger the better. So, you know, just ramp it up, mate. You know, and that big full colour stuff, you know, I'm a big fan of that. You know, so yes, you know, to be completely honest, a bit of a bug there, mate, standing there in my undies, but that's alright, no secrets here. But yeah, in complete honesty, the you know, like this side of it is really actually quite impressive. To be honest, I'm pretty chuffed with the options. Plenty there to chew on, burn some money on if you're feeling, you know, if you're feeling a bit rich one day, you know, a bit flush, you got a couple extra bucks to throw around. You know, like all in all, to be completely honest, art-wise and that, it's definitely trending in the right direction. You know, somebody's looking, trying to get that throwdown for their tasks. Speaking of tasks, actually, that's a good reminder. Been playing for a few hours today, so I've already knocked out most of mine. Dailies, just gimmies this time around, to be honest, which is good. You know, easy into the season. Your weeklies, not too big of a major, to be honest. Obviously, we've got the dark slides, dark flips, and dark catches. We'll get into a bit of that in a second. I mean, yes, it's just your standard bloody tasks here, to be fair. But as you can see, the UI's had a nice overhaul. I actually quite like how it looks. It looks quite sharp, quite flashy. I was a bit surprised when I turned it on this morning. Your monthlies, obviously sort of bigger ones, meant to take you a while. To be honest, I'll probably stay out way past my bedtime tonight and knock out at least a couple more of these. I've got my eyes on that suit from the past, so I might not stop until that's done. That one there, I try to remember where I did it. It just sort of flashed up on me, but all I did was a tray flip smashing down a hill. It wasn't in the causeway. I think it was just before the causeway. And I did an emergency tray flip. I was just sort of thrashing about, having a good time, and then that one pinged off. So you might want to look up how to do that one. Somebody would have chucked the guide up there, so just go do a bit of digging on the internet, you'll find it. The own the lots. More people seem pretty keen to actually team up, and I recently joined the Discord and been buddying up with a few of the boys in there. So you know, shout out to False, shout out to Stackhat. Who was the bro I played with today? Can't bloody remember now, but he was what's his name? Good guy something. He knows who he is. We smashed out these own the lots today. Absolute legend. Stuck around a bit longer because of the time differences, just to help me out. So if you're watching this, mate, I appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, obviously I've sort of locked myself in. Little secret for these ones too. If you just do the same own the lot with the same guys, you just get at least 3 of those goal milestones in 5 of the challenges. Then you'll unlock that. That one obviously you got to knock out all 5 tiers of the challenges. But yeah, that one, just do the same one 5 times. Get 3 of the goal milestones there. You're away laughing, mate. You know, easy W. This one here as well, you'll see place first in a throwdown. Just get a mate or 2, jump on the Discord, or just pick a random. Don't know how exactly you'll communicate it, but just go 1 for 1. Just someone put down a throwdown. One of yous do nothing. The other one quickly knock out your tricks, like just do an ollie if you want, and then just wait out the timer. Especially if it's only a minute, doesn't take long. And then just do the same for the other person, and easy W. You know, easy bloody ticks on that one. So no worries. Alright, so that is basically, I don't think I'm forgetting anything there. A few more things in the settings, to be fair. What do we got? New frame rate targets. I mean, my computer's not the worst, but it's also not the best in the world either, so I've sort of just got mine set modestly. I get a bit paranoid whenever my fan turns on, so I haven't exactly got the money to replace this if I melt it, so that will have to do for now. But yeah, someone who's more technically minded than I can give you a rundown on all those. We do also have, where was it? No, it wasn't. Oh, anyway, you can set collision with your party members now. I don't know where the hell that's gone. But basically what all that means is that if you want to varying degrees of success, I haven't tried, is that you can, oh here you go, limited party collision. So you can bang into each other while you're sort of mucking around in the world. Good for a bit of fun, good for videos if that's what you want to do, machinima, tricks and stuff, like for your skate parts and all that. Could be a good bit of fun. I think there is a very limited amount of bang into the pedestrians as well. Well, that might have just been a bug earlier. Obviously also last thing, just before I forget, on this side of things, you see down in the middle, down the bottom there, you got your character slots. So for me, I've always traditionally played males unless it was in a game. For my own immersion, I'm just a regular dude, so I usually just play just male characters, and usually sort of model them after myself, more or less. But the good thing about this is that you get 3 free character slots. Now, people are kind of whinging about having to pay for more. I honestly don't know. Besides making like big videos for YouTube, like team videos and stuff. You set your own little skate team up and do that sort of thing. Film them all yourself. I couldn't think of a reason to need any more than maybe 4 or 5. So if I run out of cosmetics that I want to get, then I'll quite possibly get another couple of these and start featuring up some team videos. That is one part of the filming, which I'll get to in a bit, that I'm actually quite excited for. But I've already had a bit of a play on that, so that's my new dude. Basically my LARP as we go. Got me prize, got me kicks, looking pretty flash actually, to be fair. Got this big fella here. That's a bit of fun. I don't quite know what I'm doing with this one yet. I'm just sort of mucking around, sort of seeing what I can get away with, and come up with something funny. I think he's on his way. And then finally have a reason to have those all those female cosmetics stuck in there. Each to their own, but I was probably never going to use them, to be honest. But now with the idea of doing team parts and stuff, I can start banging. Well, wrong choice of words actually, to be fair, but it's too late now. It's already been said. Start throwing this chick into doing some video parts as well, and like sort of kit her out with some sick gear. So it's, I'm pretty chuffed on that, to be honest. Haven't quite figured out exactly what I'm going to do, but it's looking pretty sporty for the minute. I don't hate it, to be honest. It's a good use of the stuff that's in there too. Sort of validates it being in the inventory at all. So now, sick, nice. Yeah, so that's about it for these. What we'll do now is we will go and have a look at some of the mega ramp and some of the features of Grom Island. It's the old Gromstein, as it were. I'm not allowed to say that, but it's too late now. I've already said it. Alright, here she is. What were you off to, mate? Cheeky bugger. But yeah, here she is, our mega ramp. Now it looks like somebody's already put a bloody ramp down there, and you get the old cheeky fellas with their trolls. But hey, that's alright. I can just go down there and bloody turn it off if I really want to, or just skate around it, mate. Just adds to the fun. But yeah, finally. I've been whinging about not having a mega ramp, mostly to myself. I did feature it in my last video, which I'll chuck a link to. Go check it out. I put a lot of work into that one. Far more work than this one, actually, to be honest. It's a bit rough, but we got there. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, this is sick, dude. I'm not gonna lie, you got the city sandban out there, and you can sort of see this long winding road. We've got our hill to bomb. As far as paywalls go, mate. The DLC, all controversy aside, it's actually worked out really, really well. Well, to be fair, I'll sort of backpedal on that a little bit. It's worked out in such a way that if you chose to pay for it, it is worth your money. That's probably about as honest as I can be, to be honest. And you got to make the choices that are right for you based on the information that you have. And so I made my choice, and to be honest, I'm chuffed. Yeah, and so are a whole bunch of other people, to be fair, by the looks of it. I don't know how many of them are Steam users, because those numbers were not great. I imagine this would have brought a few back. But yeah, it's probably enough waffling on. let's get out of this fella's way. He might be doing his own little video there. Alright mate, we'll see you down the bottom. And yeah, let's go hit this bad boy, yo. See if I can get a sick trick before anybody blocks me off here. Hey, backflip airwalk, mate. How about that, eh? Would have been sick if I had made that though. Wouldn't have counted for much because look, some buggers put his bloody ramp there. You know. Oh yes, this is where you spawn in anyway when you catch your water taxi. So you got your little emblem over there. I forgot to set the session marker. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite a happening little spot, eh? Like it is nice, mate. To be fair, you know, I'll show you a dark catch real quick. No, it won't. There you go. Look, cheeky little dark catch. See if we can get a dark slide on. Stacked it, mate. Stacked it. Absolutely stacked it. Hopeless. That's right. I'm still getting the hang of that. There's two ways you can do it. You can do it mid-tricks, what I'm used to from Skate 3. You wouldn't think so, based on my current performance. Well, there you go. Look, told you I'll be grinding those out. Hey, like me pun. Nah, missed that too. Do get up here. See if I get a little bit extra. So you can do it from any flip trick. There you go, got him. Still getting the hang of it. I'm going to warm my thumbs up, that's what it is. Yeah, see, so from any flip trick, sort of the easier way to do it, which I'm just getting my head around at the moment, is what I was practicing before this, was if you just hold the right shoulder button, R1 on my PS4 controller here, PlayStation for life, until it died and Sony went to shit, and then that was about the end of that. But if you hold it instead of trying to flick it like I was before, it automatically catches it. And then you just release it and you let it go. Try and get us a dark slide here, see if I can redeem myself. Ah, no really. Rodney Mullen would have had that, no worries. But that's alright. But yeah, so we'll have another quick look at this mega ramp, eh? Also, if you're a bit sensitive, that's probably about the only way to get up there, climbing up that wall, so that might upset you, but that's alright, we roll with what life gives us, mate. Not everything's in our control, is it? Now set your session marker. There you go. Alright, Geko away. Boom. Big 360, too big. Alright, that's gotta hurt. Need some skin behind on that one. Alright, let's take it seriously, see if I can get that airwalk backflip, eh? There he is. Nah, overshot it. Look out. Alright, but you get the idea though. I'll just do a standard one. Oh, there'll be bigger YouTubers than I bloody showing you all of this, mate. I'm just having a bloody good time, mate, to be honest. Like, I'm actually sincerely enjoying myself. Sand it. Oh, he's going to make it this time. Ah, rubbish. And then you got this bloody through line through here. Will he land the grind? Nah. That's it, lethal, mate, lethal. Look, he's not chuffed, is he? But yeah, like when you start up the top here, you can also take a second route as well. We'll just bomb back here real quick, probably do a cutaway. Alright, there's our cutaway. Now you got your second route down here, so you got your little meeting point over here. Your bloody suspiciously shaped bloody temple sort of thing over there for your mega ramp, and then down here bomb this spot. Set the fast way down. And you just got like you got your little shop there, but you just got all these like little wicked little parks stacked away everywhere. You got a car park in here, you know, jump the truck if you feel the need. Miss the grind, you know, no worries, mate. You know, like watch the homies go and hit some bloody mega ramp action. I mean, it is just really full of life, and yeah, to be honest, this fella's here is doing an art project. Lost my train of thought, but anyway, you know, you got this bloody hill to start bombing down. You know, tell you a little secret. Back in the 90s, when I was a kid, I know I go on about it a bit, but I do. As I get a bit older, I do actually miss that. Never thought I would, but here we are, right? But we used to do this when I was a kid. You used to sit at the top of the steep driveway. Lie down on your board and just boost it, mate. Just bloody go for it. Let gravity take you for a bloody roller coaster. You know, we didn't have a lot of money growing up as kids, so I suppose it's probably part of the reason why I enjoy myself now as an adult, because you know we are able to. Not really, but we do anyway. Can't say things have improved that much, actually, to be completely honest. But yeah, now you can set up yourself some little ramps. I mean, it's just a lot to do, mate. You know, in this new update. That carries on down to the spillway, I believe. I think it was around here I got that tray flip too. That gave me the bloody. That's where the mega ramp comes down here. Look, you'll see some people. Look, there they are. Oh, mate. Right, blood for the blood god, eh? Anyway, got wicked little spillway down here. Like, I won't show you too much. I'll let you discover it a bit yourself. But I will say, if you've been on the fence about getting this, you know, it is, even just for the premium pass by itself, which is just 1,000 SV bucks. You know, it is well worth it, mate. Like, it is a lot of fun. If you get the one for 2,000 bloody SV bucks, then I mean that's all the more power to you. That's what I did, mate. You know, we don't judge each other around these ways. Try to jump the gap. There we go. Stack the shin. That's it. That's a day off in bed. But you know, it is genuinely worth it. Like, I'm absolutely no buyer's remorse whatsoever. You know, I've made me choice, and I'm actually quite happy with it. But yeah, that's all I'll show you of this. The video's getting a bit long anyway. We'll wrap this up. I'll just do a quick little location here for anybody who's not quite sure on where to go from Samban to get to here. Yeah, so we'll just do a quick cutaway. I'll just hit this real quick, see if I can get that airwalk again. Oh, there he is. Nice, we'll have that. But yeah, that's that, mate. Alright, so we'll cut away to Samban. I'll show you where to take the water taxi, and then I'll get out your face. Alright, so here we are back in Samban. You can see the city up there behind me. Once again, the graphics are looking pretty good, mate. Like, I know I've cranked it up a little bit, but they have actually made an effort to do it up a bit. So I can only hope, like, it sucks people lost their jobs, but I can only hope that the project's going to become a little more focused now for all that sort of thing. But yeah, as you can see, we got the water taxi here, mate, the new edition. You have to forgive that. I think it's one of the local motorcycle gangies riding past. But that's alright. They don't bother us, we don't bother them. But yeah, look, you know, you got your, what do they call it, the shark bites, eh? Oh, it's pretty cheeky, I suppose. Wet and mild. Not in my experience, but that's a story for another time. Yeah, so you jump in there, obviously, you either buy for the premium pass, get in there early, wait for the special event that goes on for a week, I think it does, for all players, and then after that you spend your 500 rip chips. Not the end of the world, to be fair. Not ideal either. If it was me, I would have released it for free and then just maybe paywall, I don't know, maybe another map section or something, you know, but, you know, decisions weren't ours, were they, mate? We can all kick and scream as much as we like, but life gives you what it gives you, and you either make the most of it or you move on. It's really just that simple. Show you real quick on the map where that is. So you got your Hedgemont right down here, you got your Broken Bridge. She's just down here underneath the great big bloody neon sign here. You know, jump on your water taxi and you're away laughing, mate. You know, as far as I'm aware, your mates can't glitch in. I haven't looked it up, and to be honest, any way that you can find to skirt the monetization in this game, I can only imagine would result in a ban of some description. I don't imagine they're going to have a huge sense of humour about that. I'd be interested to see what people can do, but I'm not condoning or suggesting it, mate, because it may very well be it for you and your enjoyment of this game, if that's what you choose to do. But that's enough of that. Anyway, I'm going to roll on. I'm going to go knock out the rest of these challenges. Probably spend another few hours knocking this out, getting it done, having some fun with the boys. You know, I've got my other videos up too. I've got the old Steve series. What else we got? We got the Zero Effort series. I got my silly little video essay that I did that I spent a lot of work on. So go give those a look, mate. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, you know, I'm not hustling anybody here, mate. I'm just seeing what I can do with this thing. So if you chuck us a subscribe and I get up to 100 subscribers, I've made a sort of bit of a pledge on my mini goal here that I will record myself, and I'm not a great skater in real life, but I will record myself skating It'll be fun, you know. I'll make it look more serious than it is, you know. Probably catch a slammie or two, mate. You know, it's going to be tragic. You know, I'm probably going to cop a lot of shit for that in the comments, but that's all right. You know, that's what it's all about, mate. Everyone's got their voice, and some are just louder than others, but we have fun with it anyway. So anyway, that'll do. I'm going to go get back to ripping it up. I'll go hunt something down for tea and get straight back into it, mate. I'll see you out there, right? Alright, cheers for watching. See you later. Check, check, one check. One check, one check. See, got one check. Oh.